Hello and welcome to Module 9 of Urban Planning and Management. In this module, we shall be looking at urban risk management, hazard, and environmental control. That is building safe, resilient, and sustainable cities. The module content that we should be looking at in this module includes urban hazard, which include floods, fire, earthquake, and epidemics. We'll also look at pollution management vis-a-vis air pollution, water, noise, and waste pollution. We will also look at managing urban unrest and security challenges. We will further look at disaster risk reduction, emergency planning, and urban resilience strategies. We will now finally look at climate change adoption in urban area before we now draw our conclusion. Let us begin with the introduction, which centers on the urban risk paradigms. Cities are engines of growth, but also hubs of concentrated risk. The challenge include rapid urbanization, climatic change, and inequality intensify hazards like flood, fire, epidemics, and urban unrest. The paradigm shift is that we must move from reactive crisis and response to proactive risk management. The context is here is that environmental control, hazard mitigation, and resilience are non-negotiable foundation of sustainable urban planning. Let us look at the major urban hazards, the overview of them all. Urban area is highly density and interconnected system, amplified impacts. Some of the hazards include one, flood, which is most frequent and costly, driven by poor drainage, impervious surface, and climatic change. Another hazard in urban area is fire. Constant risk is dense in settlement and informal areas. So fire is a result to constant risk in dense settlement and informal areas. Another hazard is earthquake, which is highly consequential, which is high consequence event where preparedness is critical. Now we have epidemics, which include biological hazards, exploiting urban connectivity and density. Example like COVID-19. So it's one of the pandemic epidemics in the urban area. Therefore, commonalities risk is equals to hazard multiplied by its vulnerability times multiplied also by the word exposure. Let us look at some of the hazard in urban area as it is being showed in the screen above. You can see urban flood, you can see urban fire, you can see earthquake and epidemics. The image above illustrates some of the hazard in the urban areas. Having known that, let us look at the focus on urban flood. That is the main causes and mitigation of urban flood. Urban flood, the key drivers of urban flood include one, impervious surface increasing runoff. Number two, inadequate and blockage of drainage system, encroachment of flood pens and wetlands, and climate-induced extreme rainfall. So these are some of the causes of flooding. Impoverished surface, increasing runoff, inadequate and blockage of drainage system, encroachment on flood plains and wetland, as well as climatic-induced extreme rainfall. So they are the main key drivers of urban flooding. Now let us look at the mitigation strategies. Number one, engineering, which involve upgraded stormwater system and levees. Number two is planning, which involves zoning to limit floodplain development. Number three is green infrastructure, which entails rain gardens and permeable pavement. Then number four, the last, is preparedness, which includes early warning system and community plans. Having known that, let us look at pollution management. That is the four key points of pollution management. pollution degrades health. That pollution degrades health, environment, and quality of life. We have four main types of pollution. We have air pollution, which the primary source of air pollution include vehicle, industries, and generator air dysfunction. Then the key management strategies of air pollution include emission standard, public transit management, green spaces, and green energy. Now we also have water pollution, whose primary sources include industrial sewage, industrial effluent, and runoff. The management strategies of water pollution include wastewater treatment, protect watershed, enforce discharge regulation. Then we have noise pollution, which is primarily caused by traffic, construction, and industrial noises. The key management strategies include zoning, sound barriers, noise ordinance, and building insulation. Finally, the third pollution, the fourth pollution typology is waste pollution, whose primary cause include household, commercial, and industrial disposal of waste. The key management strategies is circular economy, which entails reduce, reuse, recycle, and recover. Well, that is waste to energy. So it is centered on the four R's, which include reduce the waste, reuse the waste, recycle the waste, and recover the waste, which entails from waste to energy. Having known that, let us look further as we discuss managing urban unrest and insecurity. The root causes of urban unrest and insecurity include inequality, marginalization, poor service delivery, and unemployment. So, unemployment is one of the major root cause of urban unrest and urban insecurity. Now, the planning and designing for security include crime prevention through environmental design, which include eyes on the street, good lighting, and active public space. So these are some of the ways to mitigate urban unrest and insecurity. Another way is social urbanism, which involves invest in quality infrastructure like library, parks, and transport in marginalized neighborhoods. So when there is improvement in infrastructure, especially in the marginalized neighborhood, it will reduce urban unrest and insecurity. Number three, the last, inclusive governance. That is participatory budgeting, community policing, and transparent service delivery to build trust. So it's a way to mitigate urban unrest and urban insecurity. Let us move further as we look at disaster risk reduction, DRR, in urban planning. It is a systematic approach to identify, assess, and reduce disaster risk. So the core component of disaster risk reduction include the following. One, risk assessment and mapping. Know your hazard and its vulnerability. Number two is prevention and mitigation, which involve the use of it involve land use planning, building code, and resilient infrastructure. Then number three, the last, which is capacity building, which involves public awareness, training, and community drills. The key message here is that disaster risk reduction must be mainstreamed into all urban plan and development projects. Let us move further as we look into emergency planning, that is the preparedness and response to urban hazards, which entails ensuring a coordinated and effective reaction when disaster strikes an urban area. Essential elements of emergency planning include early warning system, which is timely alert for flood, fire, etc. Number two element is evacuation plan and shelter network, which entails pre-identify the route and safe havens. The number three element is interagency coordination, which entails clear command structure, that is emergency operation centers. Then number four key element is simulations and supplies, which entails regular drills and preposition emergency resources. So these are the ways, the key essential elements of emergency planning. Having known that, let us look at building urban resilience. The key goal of building urban resilience is a city that can, it's aimed at building a city that can absorb, shock, adapt, and thrive. Resilience is the capacity to survive, adapt, and grow despite chronic stress and acute shock in urban area. The key strategies of building urban resilience include the following. One, redundant system, which include multiple sources of water, power, and communication in urban area. The modular design, which involves systems that can fail without total collapse. Then flexible space, which include public area that can serve multiple functions like parks as flood buffer or evacuation site. Then another key strategies of building urban resilience is strong social capital, which include cohesive and organized communities. Now let us look at climatic change adaptation. That is the urban imperative. Climate change is a risk multiplier for existing hazards. The primary urban climate risk include increased flooding and storms intensity, sea level rise, that is coastal city, then an urban heat island effect and heat wave. Then the adaptation strategies include heat resilience in urban area, that is urban greening, cool or reflective material. So water security is another adaptation measure, which include rainwater harvesting, water efficient design. We also have coastal protection, which is nature-based solution like mangrove and strategic engineering. Another strategic measure is climate-informed planning, which entails using future climate projection, not past data analysis. Having known that, let us look at integration is the key. That is the holistic approach. Silos are dangerous. Success requires integration across various sectors in urban area. Example, a stream water drain. So in a stream water drain is a very good example. So the risk management will involve mitigate flood hazard, then pollution control will entail prevent contaminated runoff. Then in terms of security, it will entail well-designed drain as safe and visible public space. Then the resilience will now include part of redundant water management system, while the climatic adaptation will now size for future rainfall projection. Therefore, planners must connect environment, social, and technical systems. In conclusion, which is the foundation for the future, urban risk management is not a specialty. It is the core of sustainable urban planning. A safe and resilient city requires proactive hazard mitigation and pollution control, inclusive planning that address root causes of unrest, robust disaster, that is DRR, disaster recovery strategies, and emergency preparedness, forward-looking climate adaptation, whose goal is to design cities that are inherently safer, healthier, and more adaptable for all citizens. Thank you, and God bless you.